Right now, we only have two options: to awaken the hearts of the powerful or to become powerful. Like many of you, I grew up being taught the importance of taking care of our environment. I was taught to plant trees, to take care of using water, saving energy. I utilize public transport. I avoid plastic, and yet none of it ever really mattered. Because the biggest offenders don't care. Nowadays, more and more research comes in, new data, new numbers, saying how us, the youth, aren't doing enough. How the climate change crisis is completely irreversible. How every little thing we do is catastrophic. How even streaming Netflix can be dangerous for our futures. And how the wealthiest 1% spend billions on stocks, industries, and space travel. Go ahead and tell that to the millions of people living in India with the worst breathable air due to their factories and big industries. Tell that to the 2.1 billion people who have zero access to clean water. Tell them that you want nothing to do with them but to leave them to fend for themselves. Like many of you here, I'm sure, I grew up feeling that power, that strength, that I can change the world. But like many, I realized that it is near impossible. I'm not wealthy, I'm not powerful. But these data come in, these numbers come in, and we get scared. People, my generation, are terrified of our future. So we do everything in our power to halt it, to fix it. We put all our strength into bettering our environment. We held competitions that promote the participation of youth in bettering our environment, in handling environmental crisis. But these numbers, they come in. A new research comes in, it's worse than the last. Our efforts are futile. The wealthy, the rich, the powerful, afflicted with greed and selfishness, they tell us that we aren't enough, that our efforts aren't enough, but let me tell you, they are. Greed has taken over their souls, and fear has made us apathetic. That is why so many of us dislike the topic so much. Fear has numbed us down. But we mustn't let fear and greed conquer us any longer. It wants us to believe that we aren't enough. It wants us to believe that our strength aren't comparable. But it is. Technology is on our side. Communication and education is more accessible than ever. Our position as the youth of this century isn't to fix anything, isn't to change anything, but to awaken those who are afflicted with this disease, the parasite that is called greed. To let those open their hearts and eyes to the real world and open their arms to the sick, the poor, the homeless, the elderly, the broken. Empathy is our strength. Right now, we have two options: to awaken the powerful or to become powerful. And friends, either one is useless if we are not united. So friends, for as long as there is hope and as long as there is oxygen in our lungs, let us all stand together and unite.